What would you say if I told you that if you're like most business owners, that in the next few minutes I could show you exactly how you could put in far less time and get far more done and make far more money? Would you be interested? Because if you're not interested, stop the video, go do something else, because that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. So now, here's how to improve your business and your life in the next few minutes. First, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. And the first question is, what are my top 3 goals? Now, I said 3. You've got 1 top goal, that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't make it any more than 5. 3 is a good number. And you need to list them in order of importance. So the most important one first, the next most important one, and so on. Second question is, what aspects of your business have the most to do with reaching your goals? Now, some people call these critical success factors because each one of your goals has 1 or 2 or maybe 3 things that you do in your business that are going to make a difference in reaching that specific goals. Now, it might be the same aspects for all your goals, or they might be different. So you're going to have to write down for each goal what aspects of your business have the most to do with reaching those specific goals. Now, the third question is, what do I do? So not what does your company do, but what do you do specifically to impact those goals most strongly and most quickly? So what can you do to impact those goals most strongly and most quickly? Okay? Write down the questions. You're going to have to answer these later on because it probably take you a few minutes to do it. So write down those questions now. All you have to do is make sure that where you put your time and attention is on those specific aspects, those specific things that are going to make a difference in those goals. This makes sense, right? If you figure out what your goals are, and you figure out what the specific things in your business that drive those goals are, and then you can figure out what you specifically can do or do on a daily basis that's going to drive those aspects, this is going to make you more money. And this is where you want to put your exact time and attention. Now, here is the most important question that I'm going to ask you so far, which is, if you asked it 40 times a day of yourself, it wouldn't be too much. So here's the question. Is what I am doing right now the most important thing for creating value in my business right now? Now, that's so important, I am going to repeat it again, and I want you to commit it to memory and start asking yourself moment to moment. Is what I am doing right now the most important thing for creating value right now? So by now, you've figured out what things you do in your business that are going to give you that kind of value, and all you have to ask yourself is what I am doing aligned with one or more of those things? Here's how to earn far more in far less time. I want you to write down a number. And here's the number. The number is, how much time do you spend doing important work that creates value in your business? Right? And I don't mean checking email, and I don't mean, I don't know, I'm not even going to list these. All the things that you do that don't create value, because there's a handful of things that do create value, and I want to know on an average, how much time do you spend, average, how much time do you spend each day that creates value? Now, I have surveyed thousands of people. I've done formal surveys, I've done informal surveys of audiences when I speak, and for most people, that comes out to 2.5 hours, 150 minutes. Now, what that really means is that since most people work an 8 or 10-hour day, that turns into about 25% of their time, if they're lucky, gets spent creating time and value in their business. So, here comes the magic. And it comes in 3 simple steps. Now, step 1 is whatever time you said, whether it's an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, it's probably not more than 3.5 hours. And if it is, that's fabulous. Most people, it's 2.5 hours. Increase the time by 50%. So if it was 2.5 hours, that's going to be 3 hours and 45 minutes. If you have an hour, hey, you know what? Make it an hour and a half. Whatever it is, increase the time by 50%. Write that down. That's step 1. Now, step 2, this has a few parts to it. And the first part is come to work when you're ready. Now, you see, look, a lot of people come into work, whether it's 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or their businesses start at 7. They come in, even though it's their business, they come in when the company starts working. And they do that because that's when they're supposed to come in. Now, look, you might come in at 9, but you might be one of these afternoon people who isn't really ready to work until 1 p.m. And what do? You waste 4 hours. On the other hand, you might be one of these people should be working at 5:30 in the morning because that's when you're ready to work. I want you to come to work when you're ready and be ready to start working when you come to work. Now, you only want to work on high-valued things. All those other things you need to do in your day, forget about them. High-valued things. Now, high-valued things, I want you to do those for the 50% longer, bigger, larger amount of time that you said you could spend if it was spending the 50%. Now, do you think that if you came to work when you're ready, started working on important things, only did high-valued things, and did those things for 50% more time than you do them now, would that help you get more done? Do you think you could make more money? Could you make 50% more money? Could you make double? Now then, what about the rest of the time? The rest of the time, step 3, go home when you're done. Let somebody else handle all those things that don't make you money. That's it. 3 easy steps. Add 50% to how much time you're working on serious things already. Only do serious things. Come in when you're ready to do them. Go home when you're done and let somebody else handle the trivial things. That's going to make you 50% more money, perhaps 100% more money in substantially less time than you are putting in at your job right now. Hey, look, many of my clients and customers have used this exact formula to make tons more money while working less. And you know what? You can too. I'm Paul Lemberg.